Okay, little dudes, it's me, Marcel the Surfin Cell. Alright, I'm not a cell, dudes, but I do know a lot about cells, and I'm a surfer dude. And here's my dog, he's a surfer too. This is my dog, Gnarly. Surf that wave, Gnarly. Alright, let me talk about cells. First off, Robert Hooke. Dude, what a cool name. He's like an old dude who discovered cells when he looked through a microscope. Then Leeuwenhoek saw single-celled organisms. Look at that wig, dude. 2 centuries later, Schleiden was looking at plant cells, and he goes, "Whoa, all these plants are made up of cells." "Whoa," says Schwann, "all these animals are made up of cells. Dude, let's make a theory." And so they did. Alright, go ahead and answer this based on that last one. Really easy, dude. You can do it. Alright, later on, latecomer, another old dude, Virchow, saw where cells come from. They come from other cells. This cell makes 2 more cells. They split in half. Pretty cool. "I'm going to make another part of the cell theory," he says. And he does. Alright, dudes. All these things are true about all cells. I think Mr. Miller did you guys did like a double bubble map or something, or a Venn diagram. Venn diagrams are cool. All cells got a cell membrane. All cells got DNA. That's the genetic material. All cells have cytoplasm, the stuff that everything's swimming around, surfing around in, dude. All cells got organelles, ribosomes. Those are those little ones, no membrane on them. Even bacteria got those. And all are really small, dude, except for like the egg cells, man. Hey, speaking of Mr. Miller, dude, isn't he cool? Mr. Miller's like my favorite teacher, dude. Let's give it up for Mr. Miller, yeah. Alright, go ahead and answer this one. It's based off that last one. Just go back if you have to. You can like rewind, dude. Alright, that's enough time. Remember, just pause it, man. I love technology. Cell membrane. Remember those phospholipids? Remember how they line up? Tails first, dude. Heads out. There's also these protein doorways, man. They allow big things through. Water can just slip right through. Whoosh. Like surfing right through, dude. Alright, which is not true? I hate those questions. Not true. Go ahead and answer it, little dudes. What do you think, Gnarly? Which letter? Dude, I think you're right. DNA. Hereditary material. You know what that means, little dudes? This is the material that decides why you look the way you look. And why I'm so radical, dudes. It's all in my DNA. It's passed down from parent to offspring. So you got your DNA from your parents. So you don't like the way you look, you know who to blame. This stuff controls everything. It's also got all the info, man. We're going to learn more about DNA. Mr. Miller's going to teach you. Oh, another one of these not true, not cool, Mr. Miller. Let's move on, dudes. Cytoplasm, that fluid, right? Fills the cell. Really, cytoplasm includes all the organelles and everything. Cytosol is the stuff. That's the actual fluid, dudes. Organelles. They're like little organs. Little tiny organs in a cell. They're small in size. You know what we're doing? We're going over all those things that are the same. You gotta use a microscope, dude. Except for egg cells. Even human egg cells, you can barely see them. Did you know that if an organism's bigger, it has more cells? Like an elephant doesn't have really big cells, right, dudes? It's got a bunch of cells. More cells than me. Dude, two types of cells. I think you guys, this is that Venn diagram, dudes. Prokaryotic is bacteria. They don't have a nucleus. Organelles are just ribosomes, no membrane. And the DNA is like in a circle. It's just one piece of DNA. Eukaryotic cells. That's all the others, man. You and me, we're eukaryotes, dude. We got nucleuses. Nuclei, sorry. Organelles are membrane covered. DNA is in a line. We got a bunch of DNA, different lines. Okay, dudes, watch this video. Whoa, technology.
Bacteria display an amazing diversity, yet their prokaryotic cells reveal a structure fundamentally different than the eukaryotic cells of more complex organisms, such as an amoeba, an orchid, or an owl.
Generally speaking, prokaryotes are quite a bit smaller than eukaryotes. For example, a bacterium is roughly the size of a mitochondrion.
This human cheek cell towers over the tiny bacterial cells around it. Though there are many variations, about 1,000 average-sized bacteria can fit into a typical eukaryotic cell. Yet despite their size, bacteria efficiently accomplish all the same functions of life that more complex eukaryotic cells do. They obtain and use energy. They reproduce. They respond to changing conditions. All this in a very simple package.
The general feature of a prokaryotic cell that makes it different than a eukaryotic cell is its lack of any type of organelles.
Prokaryotes are hardly more than lipid-bound sacs of cytoplasmic soup surrounding strands of DNA. On the other hand, eukaryotes require discrete membranous and non-membranous parts called organelles to organize and separate chemical processes. In fact, eukaryotes are the only cells with membrane-wrapped organelles, such as mitochondria for harvesting energy, lysosomes for digestion, and a nucleus for DNA isolation and protection. Without organelles, bacteria can reproduce faster, which allows them more opportunities to adapt and survive in harsh conditions.
They are known for surviving in some of the most extreme environments. For example, many of the deep thermal vents in the ocean are excellent habitats for sulfur oxidizing bacteria and methane producing bacteria. Many of them actually grow at boiling temperatures. Bacteria have been found in salt pools, generally where eukaryotes are not found because of the extreme salinity, and they've been found in environments that are extremely acid. In the battle for survival, prokaryotes are favored over eukaryotes because of their much simpler structure.
Okay, little dudes, go ahead and identify which one's prokaryotic, which one's eukaryotic. You should be able to tell. Look at how complicated that one is. The other one's really simple. Alright, dudes, circle the right one. Oh, did you take notes on that last video? You didn't? Better go back and do it, dudes. Rewind.
Imagine we could enter one of the skin cells of this athlete here.
Welcome to the inner cell and the hazy world of the cytoplasm. Keep a sharp eye out for organelles, the functional components of the cells. There's the cell's powerhouse, a mitochondrion. Mitochondria transform sugar byproducts into ATP molecules, the main form of energy that cells can use. The membranous compartments floating about come from this Golgi body. Inside these layered sacs, the cell refines and packages proteins, fats, and other important materials. Where do these materials come from to begin with? Meet the endoplasmic reticulum. You're looking at the cell's main assembly line and distribution center. On its rough areas, these tiny dark bodies called ribosomes forge the proteins that are so crucial to life. The instructions for building those proteins come from perhaps the most important organelle of all, the nucleus. Its porous double membrane keeps the cell's DNA accessible but separate from the cytoplasm. DNA molecules distribute the unique molecular blueprints used to build each different protein. It's the ultimate in quality assurance in one of the most efficient factories on Earth.
While we find the same organelles in each of our body's cells, their function may require more of some and less of others. For example, the constant activity of muscle cells requires more energy-producing mitochondria.
Whoa, dude, that was like surfing a cell. Did you take notes on that last video? Uh-oh, better go back and do it, man. Alright, eukaryotic cells are really complex. Here's animal cell and a plant cell, man. Look at all those parts. Those are organelles, like little tiny organs, dude. Oh, now you're gonna learn about the cell membrane, man. It's got like phospholipids. Remember how the tails are lined in, heads lined out? Dude, it chooses what goes in and out. You're gonna find out how, dude. Watch this.
The membrane surrounding cells is absolutely critical to life. We have to hold what's inside the cell in and keep what's outside the cell out. And that membrane is what does it. Now,
Between the living machinery of the inner cell and the harsh conditions of the outside world stands the cell's plasma membrane. As crucial as this barrier is, it's surprisingly flexible. Push it and watch it move. Poke hard enough and it might break and begin to regroup. The lipid molecules of the membrane naturally assemble in a double layer because their tails repel water as their heads attract it. Throw in some cholesterol and a few carbohydrates, and you have the basic structure of a plasma membrane. Within these lipid molecules, we also find different proteins which do various things for the cell. For instance, they receive signals from the world outside, or they transport nutrients and waste. So nature composes the membrane with a combination or mosaic of different lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins. And these molecules are not stationary. They constantly move within the structure, fluidly changing their positions. The survival of all life rests on this veil of material. A supple membrane, just 2 molecules thick.
so what we have to have in that membrane is our selective materials to allow a transport to occur. The cell's membrane keeps most things out, but allows what it needs to penetrate into the membrane so it can be utilized.
Hope you took notes on that, dudes. Alright, cell wall, man. Only in plant cells. Made of cellulose. Strong. Helps give it shape. See it there, dudes? Alright, dude, which one? Gotta go ahead and answer this one. Which one's not true? Mr. Miller did it again. The not question. Nucleus, dude. Means kernel or nut. That's funny, man. Membrane covered. It's got holes in there. Stuff needs to go in and out. A lot of people think that the nucleolus, dude, is where the DNA is. It's not. It's out here, dudes. The nucleolus is just for making ribosomes, and then they go out through the pores, start making proteins, dude. Speaking of ribosomes, man, here's one right now. Check it out, dude. It links together the amino acids. Remember those, man? Those get broken down from proteins, and your ribosomes link it together and make more proteins. Check it out. Endoplasmic reticulum. Love this thing. ER, dude. Emergency room. Makes lipids, breaks down dangerous things. It's also a delivery system, dude. The rough ones where stuff gets made, man. Look at that stuff. Those are ribosomes. They make stuff and then deliver it, dudes. Okay, dude, answer this. Another not question. Mr. Miller loves his not questions. Which one's not true, dudes? Mitochondria, man. Energy. Look at that double membrane. Check it out. It's almost like a cell itself, man. Breaks down the glucose. Remember? Anybody remember what that's called, dude? Yeah, cellular respiration. Releasing carbon dioxide, releasing water, and ATP energy, man. Chloroplast, dude, I love these things. They're only in plants and they're green. Love the green, man. These dudes they got chlorophyll. It captures the sun's energy. It's a pigment. Captures sunlight energy and then makes food. That's the food we need to eat, dudes. You gotta love it. Without plants, we'd be in big trouble, man. Now here's my favorite, Golgi. I love the name, Golgi, man. It packages stuff out, dude. It makes these little vesicles. See, there's a vesicle coming off, dude. Goes to the outside of the cell and it can send stuff outside the cell, man. This is the delivery system. Delivers it outside. It's like FedEx, man, or UPS. Lysosomes. They got enzymes. Enzymes are just proteins, dude. They break things down. Remember chemical reactions, man? Getting rid of waste, old stuff, recycling it. Ah, the old storage centers, vesicles. See, here's a vesicle, man, broke off from the Golgi complex. Actually, this one's coming in, dude. Cell membrane wraps around, brings it in, dude. Gotta love it. Bubble comes in. It's like a little bubble full of stuff. Brings stuff in. Something really big at once. Vacuoles. Animal and plant cells, but only plant cells have the big, large central vacuole. Look how big that is. Filled with water, dude. Exactly what a plant needs. Cytoskeleton. Dude, it's like a regular skeleton. Connects things around, holds everything in place like your skeleton does. It can also move things, man. Your skeleton does, but you need muscles. This just moves stuff around, especially during cell replication. Okay, watch this movie, dudes, and take notes.
Prokaryotes lack another eukaryotic trademark, the cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton gives these complex eukaryotic cells their shape and internal structure, just as the human skeleton supports our bodies. Composed of different protein bundles, this interior scaffolding extends from the nucleus to the plasma membrane. Primarily in animal cells, the structure of the cytoskeleton depends on microtubules, which anchor organelles and play a key role in cell division. These microtubules also give rise to the flagella and cilia, which organisms use to move about and stir up surrounding food. Because prokaryotes lack a cytoskeleton, their much simpler flagella are anchored in the cell's membrane.
Okay, dudes. Time to answer the questions at the end, man. All just true, false. This is easy, but double check them, man. Go back and look them up. Alright, more questions, dude. Answer these. You got them all on your paper, man. Just answer them. Go back and look it up if you need to, dude. Another not question to end it all. Another not question. Mr. Miller. You're awesome, dude, but man, It's a lot of not questions. Alright, that's it. Again, I'm Marcel the Surfin Cell, dudes. Peace out. Say hi to Mr. Miller for me. Come on, gnarly, let's go.